So very happy November. I'm glad you could join us tonight as Hutchinson Community College Blue Dragons. It's only a women's game, no men's game tonight, but the women will take on the Bethany College Junior Varsity. Tip off here in about 9.5 minutes. The Blue Dragons, some pretty high expectations once again, but that's really been the case ever since Coach John Hodges has been here. First handful of non-conference games that the Blue Dragons will have this year. They'll have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 before they'll take on Coffeyville on November 28th. They don't have many home games this November, so if you can't get out here tonight still, again, about 9 minutes until tip, their next home game isn't going to be until November 20th when they take on Lamar College out of Colorado. They also have a home game on the 24th. Against Heston, and then December 1st we'll have the first conference game against Independence. A brand new look, as is usually the case in the junior college world. Blue Dragons bringing back some familiar faces, but also got some new faces throughout the roster. They have players like Sarah Kramer back this year, the 5'5" guard out of Dighton, and Kelsey Brett, the Australian guard, Tia Bradshaw out of Dodge City, all back. Janae Roebuck out of Olathe. Jada Mickens out of Liberal, so some good talent back. One of the issues for the Blue Dragons this year, according to Coach John Hodges, could be point guard. We'll see how the point guard situation turns out. Bethany College Junior Varsity not on the floor warming up right now. The varsity head coach is Keith Ferguson, a former Blue Dragon assistant and a Kansas native. Keith is now in his 3rd season coaching the Bethany College varsity. He is in town tonight with the team. He joked before the game saying he's the official bus driver, so he's not coaching tonight. New face on the Blue Dragon bench this year, along with head coach John Hodges and assistants Travis Kirk and Phil Anderson. Former All-American Jamie Patrick, who at one time was the all-time leading scorer for the Blue Dragons, is now on the bench as an assistant coach. Jamie, a Hutchinson native, played at Little Central Christian High School over on 30th Avenue here in Hutch. And I tell you, Jamie is one of the best players I'd ever seen in high school, not just basketball, but volleyball. Tremendous all-around athlete. She came here and I believe lost just 3 games in her 2 years here. One of those losses was in the national semifinals. Another loss was in the next year in the national championship game, and I believe she also lost just 1 regular season game in those 2 years. An overtime setback at Garden City. So Jamie, not only one of the best players, she played on 2 of the best teams that this school has ever seen. So welcome back to the bench, Jamie Patrick. We're going to take about a 1-minute break, and we're going to get back here and get you set for the Blue Dragons and the Bethany College Junior Varsity Suite. You're listening to Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
You want to shoot for the Hutch News men's basketball tomorrow night? Okay. I'll give you the photo editor's number. His name is Samuel Milburn. You probably know him. Okay, well, anyway. Before I leave tonight, I'll make sure you get a number. You get the details on what exactly you need and when. She said they will pay you. A recommendation, though, is after tomorrow night, you're not supposed to get until you get paid. It can be kind of anyway. So if you want to, that's entirely up to you. And I'll make sure I get you all Samuel's number so you can get all the details. All right, thanks, Casey.
Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. This is Brad Hallier bringing you the first Hutchinson Community College women's basketball game of the 2018-2019 season. And this Blue Dragons team takes the floor, and they're getting ready to go through a layup drill. Has Bethany College at the other end of the court. They'll be dressed in blue tonight. So the Blue Dragons last year did make it to the NJCAA tournament, lost their first game. They've got a pretty good history under Coach John Otches at the national tournament. Now in his 12th season, John's got 5 players from last year's 27 and 17 that did, as I mentioned, qualify for the NJCAA tournament as an at-large selection. Jada Mickens and Janae Roebuck, two of the top forwards from last year's team. Mickens, a 6-foot sophomore out of Liberal, and Roebuck, a 5'11" sophomore out of Olathe. Mickens, very, very athletic, probably a little underrated as a freshman, and frankly, probably even in high school. She averaged 13.5 points and 8.6 rebounds a game. Roebuck averaged 13 points and 9 rebounds a game. Sarah Kramer out of tiny little Dighton, Kansas, 5'5" guard, was a very lethal 3-point threat last year. Averaged 8.4 points a game and shot just a touch under 40% from 3-point range. Tia Bradshaw was a reserve guard last year, averaged 5.8 points and 3.9 assists. Kelsey Brett was also a reserve guard, averaged 4.7 points a game, and she also was a pretty good 3-point shooter. Although she didn't shoot it very often, she did make 40% from 3-point range. There's a little history between these two colleges. 31-0, Hutchinson has never lost to Bethany, including a perfect 24-0 record here in Hutchinson. And I want to say there was one year I was not here for the game. I did spend about a decade covering the Blue Dragons for the local newspaper. But I do want to say there's one year I believe Hutchinson scored the first 41 points of the game against Bethany. I was having some Italian food with Hutchinson's Community College Sports Information Director Steve Carpenter up in Omaha during that game. And we were getting text messages from his worker saying something like, it's 31-0, it's 35-0, it's 39-0, it's 41-0. And from what we were told, I believe when Bethany scored their first basket of the game with maybe 3 or 4 minutes left in the first half, the Blue Dragon crowd cheered for them. And why not? At 41-0, there really was no point in being disappointed. The game was already well out of reach. Again, last year these two teams met also in the season opener, won by Hutchinson 81-35. Again, not too many chances to see the Blue Dragon women here in this November. Just 3 home games in November. After tonight's game, they'll actually have a week off in 1 day before they head down to Oklahoma to take on Murray State and NEO. Actually, they'll be playing them in Great Bend, 2 Oklahoma teams playing them in Great Bend. And then on November 14th, they'll travel to Topeka to take on the Washburn University JV. And then on November 17th, they'll make the short trip north to McPherson to take on Central Christian College. Then on November 20th, they'll return here for a home tilt with Lamar. And then on the 24th against Heston. And then November 20th, they'll take on Coffeyville. And then December starts a fairly busy month. The Blue Dragons will take on Independence, Neosho County, Butler, and Cloud before they'll break for a couple weeks for the holiday. And then a new tradition this year where the Blue Dragons will actually be hosting their own holiday classic. For several years, they took trips all across the country to Florida, to Southern California, to Las Vegas. But now they're going to try something new this year, where they'll be hosting their own holiday classic. On December 28th, they'll be hosting Iowa Western, and the next day they'll be taking on Ellsworth, Iowa. And we're going to have the national anthem here, so we'll take another break here until the national anthem wraps up. Be back here in a couple minutes. And again, this is Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
sure you're talking about this.
Casey said hi to me right away.
Because you had a question.
I called you an asshole right away. I called you an asshole right away. That's true. I don't like you.
Welcome back to the Sports Arena. This is Brad Hallier bringing you the Hutchinson Community College women's basketball season opener tonight against the Bethany College Junior Varsity. Get ready for the Blue Dragon starters. Darren Dunn, PA announcer, a very good guy, good at what he does, getting the crowd hyped up here. So let's go down the Blue Dragon starting lineups. You know, starting at guard will be 5'8" freshman out of Baldwin City, Abby Ogle. Number 21, Milan Schimmel, a 5'9" freshman out of Pendleton, Oregon, will also be starting. And number 22, Dejanay Roebuck from Olathe, the 5'11" sophomore, and the top Blue Dragon players from last season. Number 23, Michaela Vanett, a 5'6" freshman from the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minnesota. And of course, the fifth starter will be the 6' sophomore from Liberal, Jada Mickens. Very good player, very athletic. So Blue Dragons should be pretty well off in the post this year. They got some very good athletes in the post, some reliable scoring in the post. The question will be, you know, can they get good point guard play this year? Can they get good guard play? Can they get a consistent three-point threat going? You know, the Blue Dragons have been spoiled through the years with some outstanding three-point shooters. One of them, of course, sitting on the bench now as an assistant coach in Jamie Patrick, but they've also had some outstanding three-point threats, such as Laken Preisner was a very good one. I think of Taylor Staley a couple years ago, now down at Louisiana Tech. She shot 46.9% in her career from three-point range. Brittany Dietz from way back earlier this century was an outstanding three-point shooter. Amanda Fessenden, going back a decade ago, a tremendous three-point shooter. Tessa Morrow before that. So the Blue Dragons have had some outstanding three-point shooters through the years. Jamie's sister Laura was a very good three-point shooter. So here we go, getting ready to start the season here as the Blue Dragons and the Bethany College Junior Varsity Swedes. And the referee throws ball up, and we're underway, and the Blue Dragons will control the tip. As Ogle will bring the ball, swings out top to Jada Mickens. Mickens right side. This is Schimmel. Left-handed back out top. Swings it to the left side in the corner to Ogle. Ogle looking inside. Here comes a three-pointer on the way. It's up and missing. That was Vanett with the shot. Rebounded, though, by Ogle. A three-pointer from the top of the key. Bouncing around and missing, but Mickens with a good rebound. And she goes back up and in, and she draws the foul. Jada Mickens Already getting it done in the paint, rebounding that missed three-pointer. So the Blue Dragons have had a couple good looks from three on their first possession. It's a good offensive rebound, and then they get the ball inside to Mickens, who scores the first points of the season with 9:29 left here in the first quarter. She'll go to the free throw line here. Gets low, bends her knees, tosses it up, and hits it. So Mickens with a three-point play, and the Blue Dragons lead at 3-0. Now Bethany College going against some full court pressure here that the Blue Dragons have used for years. Knocked away, collected in the backcourt. As Carver tries to get across, and it's still loose, but collected by Hannah Ferguson. She's trying to get the ball. It's still loose. It's knocked, and Janae Roebuck has it. She gets in transition. She goes up, and she scores. So Roebuck with the steal and the layup. And Blue Dragons lead at 5-0 as we approach the 9-minute mark here in the first quarter. And another trap over on the far side of the court, and getting out of it as Hendrickson goes inside, she tosses up and misses. Rebounded by Milan Schimmel. Schimmel brings it down the left side. She's looking inside, and she ends up going up top to Mickens. Mickens goes right side to Vanett. Vanett looks to go inside. She finds Mickens. Mickens posts up, swings it into the corner, almost out of bounds there, but good save by Ogle. We're going to say patient, 10 on the shot clock here. Here comes Roebuck driving, cut off at the baseline, inside to Mickens. She goes up off the backboard and just missing, and rebounding for Bethany College with Satori Carver. Here come the Swedes back the other way. This is Allie Wright-Frederick from Clay Center. Looking to drive, she's cut off, well defended there by Milan Schimmel. Still trying to work her way around is Wright-Frederick. She goes up with the left hand, misses. Rebounded there by Roebuck, quick outlet to Mickens. Mickens in transition, and she gives it up. Back to Mickens, and she goes foul. So it wasn't the cleanest 2-on-1 break there, but Mickens will still get to go to the free throw line after she passed there to Michaela Vanett, and Vanett went back to Mickens. Coaching staff was telling Mickens that she may want to pass the ball a little bit earlier next time in that situation. So Mickens back to the free throw line. First toss is up and in. Exactly 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 6-0 Blue Dragons. Jada Mickens will get a second free throw. Couple bounces. Mickens squats, tosses, and it's 7-0. So Mickens with 5 points already. The Blue Dragons return to that three-quarter court pressure. Bethany getting across midcourt here. This is Allie Wright-Frederick. So the third time that they've had to go against the pressure, and that's the best that Bethany has looked against that pressure. So this is Wright-Frederick bringing the right side in, cut off by Abby Ogle. Wright-Frederick can't really find any one open. She finally gets it out top to Megan Hendrickson. Already 7 seconds on the shot clock. Ball is knocked out of bounds by Abby Ogle. Bethany will maintain possession with just 7 on the shot clock. 7:36 left here, first quarter. 7-0 Blue Dragons. Satori Carver inbounds it. Excuse me, that was correct. Allie Wright-Frederick trying to drive, and she is called for traveling as she tried to toss the ball up at the end of the shot clock, but she was called for a travel. That's 2 turnovers now for Bethany. Milan Schimmel will bring the ball down the court. 5'9" freshman from Pendleton, Oregon. She gives up to Roebuck to Mickens. Mickens finds Vanett. She tries to go inside, and it's bounced around but collected inside there by Roebuck, and she goes up and ball's swatted out of bounds. And the Blue Dragons will maintain possession with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Schimmel gives it off. Vanett drives, a little scoop shot underneath, just misses, knocked out there by Roebuck. Well done. And Ogle gets the rebound, and the Blue Dragons maintain possession as Vanett's got the ball right side. Top of the key. This is Milan Schimmel. She drives, had an open layup, gave it up instead to Mickens. Mickens finds Roebuck. She goes up, banks off the backboard, misses. Rebounded by Milan Schimmel. So the Blue Dragons rebounding very well early here. Abby Ogle goes inside, nice play there. Tossing up and in for her first basket of the season is Milan Schimmel. 9-0 Blue Dragons. And the ball's thrown away in the backcourt, and this is going to be collected by Michaela Vanett. She's going to toss a three-pointer up and in. 12-0 Blue Dragons as we see some substitutions getting ready to check in here for Bethany. No timeout here for the Swedes. Having a hard time against this pressure. They've only managed to break it without any trouble once, and there's the second time they've broken it. This is Shaylee Dahl Left side, three-pointers up and missing. Rebounded by Abby Ogle. Blue Dragons didn't have numbers in transition. 3-on-1. Ogle gives it up to Mickens. She misses. Roebuck gets the rebound. She goes up. She gets fouled. Misses the shot. I don't think Roebuck knew, I don't think Mickens knew how open she was there. That's a ball that she knocked, or a layup that she makes 9 times out of 10. And checking in now the lineup for Bethany, Caitlin Moore, 5'2" sophomore from Louisiana. Also, Alyssa Holt, 5'10" freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee. As Blue Dragons inbound the ball, Roebuck, about 17 feet from the basket. She tries to drive, so driving, working her way in, tosses up and in. Nice strong move to the basket there by Dejanay Roebuck, and the Blue Dragons lead at 14-0. Blue Dragons with some pressure, and it's stolen. Here comes Ogle in transition. She tosses up a layup uncontested and scores. And it's 16-0 Blue Dragons. 5:40 left in the first quarter, and Bethany's going to call timeout here. So we're going to take it with them. You listen to Blue Dragon Basketball on Blue Dragon Sports Network. $16-0 Blue Dragons. 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the season, and they got that three-quarter trapping press defense looking very good. Also coming into for Bethany's lineup, I didn't get her, it was 5'11" freshman Hannah Brandel from Tribune, Kansas. Far western part of the state, so far west that it's actually in a different time zone. Here comes Ogle on a steal to Roebuck. She goes up and scores. 18-0 Blue Dragons. That's 6 points now for Roebuck. Jada Mickens has 5. All 5 Blue Dragons actually on the court have scored already. Now right here in front of me is Shaylee Dahl. She goes up top to Caitlin Moore. Moore looking to drive. Is that right side? There's a three-pointer on the way. It's up and missing off the backboard. That was Alyssa Holt, rebounded by the Blue Dragons. Here comes the other way, Lon Schimmel. She goes inside the trees there, tosses it up with the left hand off the square and in. Blue Dragons rolling here up 20-0 now, 4:52 left first quarter. Bethany trying to get something positive to happen here. Ball goes out of bounds, and the Swedes will maintain possession. And we got a couple substitutions coming in here for the Blue Dragons for the first time. Ty Kimbrough, 6'4" sophomore from Memphis. And also coming in, Keely Tinney from Auckland, New Zealand, a 6' freshman. Also for the first time, Tia Bradshaw, the Dodge City sophomore. And one of the Blue Dragons, I didn't see which one, just ran out into the court before checking in. It kind of fascinates me that these kids play basketball their entire life and they still forget to check in sometimes. Bethany maintains possession, 15 on the shot clock. Here comes a drive and a three-pointer that's up and in. And that was number 25, Shaylee Dahl, getting the first points of the season for Bethany. Or first points of the game, excuse me, for Bethany. Bradshaw with the ball on the left side here. This Keely Tinney, a three-pointer up and missing by Abby Ogle. Ogle tries to fight for the rebound. Good work by Abby there. And I think we're going to have a loose ball tie up there, so Bethany will get credit for the rebound there. And the ball will stay, or go to the Swedes here. 4:18 left here, first quarter, 20-3 Bethany. And it looks like we've got a substitution coming in. Hannah Ferguson checking back into the lineup. Also for the first time, Keisha Hamilton, a 6'1" junior from Salina. And another sub is number 33 checking in for the first time, Frida Amor. 5'6" sophomore from Hawaii. And one of the Bethany players also just ran out to the court, so each team has had just someone run onto the court without checking in. Again, these kids play basketball their entire life. You'd think they would remember to check in. So some good pressure there by the Blue Dragons, but Bethany will maintain possession. Over on the far side of the court, Amor's got the ball near midcourt. She swings it over left side. This is Caitlin Moore. Looking inside, she briefly had cutting Hannah Ferguson there. Didn't quite get it to her though. Moore looking. She's picked up her dribble. She's in trouble. Gives it off to Moore. 9 on the shot clock. Moore drives, tosses a wild shot off the glass and in. Nice shot there by Caitlin Moore. So here come the Blue Dragons as the coaching staff implores them to move the ball quickly the other way in transition. Ogle goes up, missed shot is missed, blocked, but collected out front by Keely Tinney. Here comes a three-pointer that is up and missing by Bradshaw, but rebounded there, going up and in and scoring is Ty Kimbrough. With the rebound there was Keely Tinney. 22-5 Blue Dragons. Ball swung and easily picked off there by Abby Ogle. 2-on-3. Great bounce pass in transition. There's a layup up and in there by Milan Schimmel. Great bounce pass in transition by Abby Ogle. 24-5 Blue Dragons. 3:12 here left first quarter. Caitlin Moore with the ball. She picks up her dribble, almost drug the pivot foot there. She's dead and tosses a pass that's going to bounce out of bounds, and the Blue Dragons will take over underneath their own basket. Checking in for the first time for the Blue Dragons is Sarah Kramer, the 5'5" sophomore from Dighton. Blue Dragons shooting 52.6% right now. They're 10 out of 19. Seems like they're shooting a little bit better than that, but they had some offensive rebounds. Driving to the basket here. Good strong move there. Missing the shot that was Ty Kimbrough, but a good strong move there. So the Swedes taking their time bringing the ball across the court. 20 on the shot clock. Bounce pass. Top to Keisha Hamilton. She goes inside. This is Ferguson. There's a 15-foot jumper up and in by Keisha Hamilton. 24-7 now. Blue Dragons come back the other way. Here comes a wide open, no, she passes up the shot, goes inside. And a good bounce pass there by Milan Schimmel. I believe that was Ty Kimbrough went up, and then there's a steal in the backcourt by Bradshaw. And she just picked the ball off and right near the basket and tosses up a short layup, and it's 28-7 Blue Dragon. I'm sure the Blue Dragon football team would take a 28-7 lead in the first quarter coming up on Saturday when they take on Garden City in a game that'll have national championship implications. There's a layup missing by Caitlin Moore, rebounded by Ty Kimbrough. Here comes Blue Dragons back the other way. Kramer goes inside, nice pass there, up and in. Keely Tinney with the basket. Those are Teeny's first points of the season. 30-7 Blue Dragons, 90 seconds remaining here first quarter. Hamilton top of the, or at the free throw line here, driving to the basket, and no, they're going to call a jump ball there as Lissa Holt drove to the basket. And it looked like that might have been Sarah Kramer getting her arm in there and tying her up. And checking in for the Blue Dragons will be Kelsey Brett, the sophomore guard from Australia. 1:23 left here first quarter, 30-7 Blue Dragons. 10 Bethany turnovers to just 1 for the Blue Dragons. Blue Dragons shooting 13 of 23, 57%, excuse me. Now the Blue Dragons setting it up here. This is Kimbrough, right side to Bradshaw. Bradshaw gives up top. Here comes a three-pointer up by Kramer, missing. But there's a 6'4" Kimbrough with the rebound, and she finds Kramer. As we approach the 1 minute mark here in the first quarter, Blue Dragons comfortably on top, 30-7. Kelsey Brett. There's a three-pointer that's up and in by Keely Tinney. And the Blue Dragons now lead at 33-7. Tinney now with 5 points. Bethany now against a little less pressure, but not any more intense. Moore is up right side. Thinking about the three-pointer is Allie Wright-Frederick. However, she was cut off by Tia Bradshaw. Wright-Frederick under intense pressure from Bradshaw. Great defense by Bradshaw. They're trying to go inside Hamilton. Good pass there. And up and in with the basket, count it. That was Keisha Hamilton with the pass, and Hannah Ferguson scores. So the foul will be going Sarah Kramer. 25.3 seconds left here in the first quarter, so the Blue Dragons could hold for the final shot if they so choose so. Ferguson bends her knees, tosses the shot, and it's up and in. So Ferguson with 3 points now. Blue Dragons still lead 33-10. Their biggest lead was 26 points. Currently at 23. So Blue Dragons looks like they will hold for the final shot as we go down to 12 seconds. 11-10. Tia Bradshaw, right side. Gets to the top of the key, laying off her. She tries to drive, gets inside to Kimbrough. Shot's blocked by Hamilton, and on the scramble for the rebound, the ball was tossed out of bounds by Bethany, and the Blue Dragons will maintain possession with 2.1 seconds left. Nice play there by Keisha Hamilton. At 6'1", she's able to match up pretty well with the 6'4" Kimbrough. Bradshaw tosses it in. There's a layup up at the buzzer and in by Ty Kimbrough. So at the end of one, the Blue Dragons lead at 35-10. We're going to take a short break. You're listening to Blue Dragon Women's Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. I'm Brad Hallier, bringing you action from the season debut for the Hutchinson Community College Lady Blue Dragons. Appreciate Sports Information Director Steve Carpenter giving me the chance to broadcast this game tonight. I try to help him out from time to time. I'm one of the journalism instructors at the college, also the advisor for the student newspaper there. Give a shout out to my newspaper staff. We have a special edition coming out tomorrow on this weekend's football game. Number 4 Hutchinson and number 2 in undefeated Garden City. The game will most likely decide the J-Out Conference Championship. Butler has just one loss. The other two teams are undefeated in the conference. But it could also have national championship implications. So big game Saturday. Check out our student newspaper. I'll have copies over at the stadium on Saturday. They'll be on campus tomorrow. Try to take them some businesses around town tomorrow. Be on the lookout for it. My students do an excellent job. So here we go, getting ready for the second quarter here. Hutchinson leads Bethany 35-10. Bethany will have possession to start here the second quarter. Wright Frederick with the ball, hands it off to Megan Hendrickson. She's being pressured by Keely Tinney. Here comes a drive by Hendrickson. She loses the ball. Here comes Sarah Kramer quickly back for the Blue Dragons. Kramer finds on the right side. Here comes a three-pointer that's up and in by Kelsey Brett. Great transition there by the Blue Dragons. Brett finding herself open on the right side, and then well done by Sarah Kramer finding her in transition for an open three-pointer. 38-10 Blue Dragons, early second quarter here. Allie Wright Frederick under pressure from Tia Bradshaw. She finds Megan Hendrickson, and Bethany hasn't even gotten to their offense run. There's only 8 seconds on the shot clock here. A shot that's short, air ball by Satori Carver. Blue Dragons come back the other way. Here comes Bradshaw quickly in transition. She goes up, it's fouled. Shot misses. And she's going to go to the line to shoot a couple free throws. Foul will go against Satori Carver of Bethany. And I believe that's her third foul. Hasn't been that many fouls in this game, 4. And Carver has 3, and she's going to probably sit the rest of the half. Bradshaw's first free throw is halfway down and it slides out. Checking in for Bethany will be Hannah Brandel, excuse me. 5'11" freshman from far western Kansas in the small town of Tribune. County seat of Greeley County. Second toss for Bradshaw is up and swishes. So Tia Bradshaw now with 3 points. And checking in for the Blue Dragons here will be Dejanay Roebuck. Roebuck had a very good first quarter, 6 points, couple rebounds. Blue Dragons lead it here 39-10. There's a steal by Bradshaw. Come back the other way, 2-on-2. She takes it all the way to the basket herself, misses the shot, scramble for the rebound, and it looks like that was Brandel that got it. She tries to dribble way out of it, and she manages to find Wright Frederick. So Wright Frederick brings it across the timeline. Play center native, she's under pressure from Roebuck. She finds Ferguson. Just 12 seconds on the shot clock, and then a little unlucky foul there by Roebuck. First foul of the season for the Blue Dragons. And checking in now will be Michaela Vanett. Vanett had a good opening sequence. She had a three-pointer, 3 points. Inbounding the ball here right in front of me will be Satori Carver. She inbounds to Allie Wright Frederick. She picks up her dribble, and now she's under pressure from Bradshaw, and she manages to get it back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson with a three-pointer on the right side here by Wright Frederick. She misses, rebounded by Tia Bradshaw. Bradshaw quickly back the other way in transition. She'll stop and pop a 14-footer halfway down, and it spins out. And getting the rebound for Bethany was Hannah Ferguson. She gives it off to Wright Frederick. She brings the ball across the timeline. 7:58 left second quarter. 39-10 Blue Dragons. Top of the key is Ferguson, finds a cutting Megan Hendrickson, and she tosses the ball off the window and in. So 39-12 now. Kelsey Brett left side. Gives out top to Roebuck. She'll take the three-pointer on the way, airballed. And the ball goes out of bounds, and Bethany will take over. And checking in for the Blue Dragons, Jada Mickens. She'll be joined by Milan Schimmel. Comes this late sub here for Bethany. This will be Alicia Holt, I believe for the first time. No, she played a little bit in the first quarter. 5'10" freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee. Blue Dragons will be picking up pressure at midcourt. All five are staying like in a line across midcourt. And it will be meeting at midcourt will be Milan Schimmel. She backs off a little bit. She'll pressure Caitlin Moore. And she's under pressure now, and she's in trouble. We might get a 5-second call here, but she manages to get it off to the last second to Holt. Holt with a wild shot, misses. Rebounded by Ferguson. There's a cutting Caitlin Moore. Good pass by Ferguson. Moore gets body checked, and she'll go to the line for a couple free throws. So Jada Mickens gets called for the foul. As Caitlin Moore will go to the line. Blue Dragons offense not quite as efficient here in the second quarter. They scored 35 points in the first quarter, just 4 so far here in the second. First toss by Caitlin Moore is up and in. Blue Dragons still shooting 51.6%. They've hit 16 of 31 shots so far. 3 of 9 from three-point range. Second toss is up, rattles around and misses. And rebounding for the Blue Dragons does Dejanay Roebuck. Roebuck gives it off to Schimmel. Schimmel back to Roebuck. Left side to Kelsey Brett. Brett looking inside. She brings it back top to Roebuck. Roebuck will drive hard to the basket. Soft toss off the window and in. Very graceful move there by Roebuck. She's got 8 points now. Moore brings ball back across for Bethany, and ball's bobbled almost on over and back there as Hannah Ferguson was about a centimeter away from going over and back there. Kept her feet, kept her composure. Bethany maintains possession as we approach the 6:30 mark. 10 on the shot clock. Brandel tries to throw inside, and it's intercepted by Michaela Vanett. And they're going to get, looks like, Shelly Dahl with a foul there. A little arm shove there, and checking in for the Blue Dragons will be Abby Ogle, and for Bethany, Frida Amor will check back in. Ogle will inbound the ball. Baldwin City native, just a little bit south of Lawrence, about 10 miles. That's where the home of Baker University is. Ogle's got the ball. Looking for someone. She gives it up top to Vanett. She'll dribble to her right, take a three-pointer missing. Scramble for the rebound, and it's going to be still loose. And Caitlin Moore will get the ball. One of the smallest players on the floor at 5'2" is able to get the ball there. And there's the ball that's thrown out of bounds. Not a good pass there by Amor. Alicia Holt made a good effort to try to save it. By the time she touches, she was a good 2 or 3 feet out of bounds. So the Blue Dragons will take over. As Milan Schimmel will bring the ball across the timeline. 5'9" freshman out of Pendleton, Oregon. Right side, this is Vanett. She goes up top to Roebuck. Looks to drive, gives it off to Ogle. And she gets hit on her drive to the basket by Amor. And that is, I believe, the 3rd foul of this quarter by Bethany. So with 5:46 left here in the second quarter, Blue Dragons leading 41-13. Very good start for the Blue Dragons. Led 35-10 at the end of one, though they led by as many as 26 points. 29 points, excuse me. Vanett gives it off right side to Ogle. She throws the ball to Schimmel. Schimmel drills to the top of the key, drives, passes among the trees, and finds somehow Jada Mickens among 3 Bethany players, and Mickens tosses it up and in for Jada Mickens. That's now 7 points, and the Blue Dragons lead it by 30, 43-13. Moore finds a cutting Nice play there as Alicia Holt goes to the basket. Tosses ball off the window and in. 43-15 Blue Dragons. Schimmel back quickly the other way, finds Roebuck. Roebuck drives, gives up to Vannet. Thought about a long three-pointer. Schimmel, top of the key, left side to Abby Ogle. She gives it up back top to Schimmel. She'll take the three-pointer, and it rattles around and falls. So Milan Schimmel with their first Blue Dragon 3. She's got 9 points, and the Blue Dragons open up their biggest lead of the game at 46-15. 4:40 left here, second quarter. Moore drives, cut off at just inside the lane. She's in trouble there. Gives it up top to Frita Amor. She finds Moore near the Blue Dragon logo. Tosses it into the paint, and it's intercepted there by Jada Mickens. Mickens going to bring the ball over to Ogle, and this is going to be an illegal screen, I believe, called on Dejanay Roebuck, and it is. Try to clear out her defender there. Just kept kind of shuffling her feet away. Good call by the referees there, as Roebuck will come out, and in is Keely Tinney. Bethany walking the ball across midcourt here. Blue Dragons did very well early on in their three-quarter court pressure defense. Bethany really had a hard time breaking that. Ball's thrown inside, and I believe, yes, it was tipped out of bounds by the Blue Dragons. I think we got a couple subs coming in here. We do. For the Bethany Swedes, Megan Hendrickson back in, and so is Hannah Ferguson. So Bethany's scoring is pretty balanced. They got 2, 4, 6, 6 players have scored so far for Bethany. Nobody more than 3. The ball's just dropped there by Ferguson, and it's picked off there by Mickens. And she's going to go all the way, tosses the ball off the window and in. Very athletic player Jada Mickens is. 48-15 now, Blue Dragons. 3:50 left here, second quarter. Season opener for the Blue Dragons. They won't play again for over a week, when they'll make a trip to Great Bend for 2 games in 2 days against some Oklahoma teams. Murray State and NEO. Ball swatted out of bounds on a pass inside the paint. Bethany will maintain possession with 13 on the shot clock. So checking back in for Bethany will be Allie Wright-Frederick and Shaylee Dahl. Shaylee Dahl, a long way from home, Petersburg, Alaska. You know, I wonder how many teams in this country, basketball teams, have both a Hawaiian and Alaskan on the team. Well, this Bethany team does. Ball's thrown into the backcourt, races to the ball, and it looks like Abby Ogle almost got it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Don't think she ever had possession of the ball, though, so the shot clock will not reset. At least referees are having a quick discussion about it, and it looks like the shot clock will not reset. I think that's the correct decision. 11 will remain on the shot clock for Bethany. Ball thrown into the backcourt. Abby Ogle got to it, but couldn't quite maintain possession. Not sure if Bethany realized there's just 5 on the shot clock here. Down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, and we're going to have a tie-up. And the Blue Dragons will actually get the ball. They're going to call, yes, the shot clock expired just a split second after the tie-up. So the Blue Dragons will get the ball on the tie-up. Too bad it wasn't a Bethany's ball. They probably had 1 second left on the shot clock. Blue Dragons quickly come back the other way as Abby Ogle is up top to Keely Tinney. Right side to Michaela Vannet. Vannet looking inside and gives it up top to Schimmel. Schimmel to Ogle, over to Keely Tinney. She goes inside, and it looks like we're having a moving screen call on the Blue Dragons. It's going to go on Jada Mickens. For Mickens, that's her second foul. She will come out of the game with 9 points. Coming back into the game for the Blue Dragons will be Ty Kimbrough, the 6'4" redshirt sophomore out of Memphis. 3:07 left here, second quarter. 48-15 Blue Dragons. Been more of a passive second quarter for the Blue Dragons. They have not defended full court like they did in the first quarter. A couple of Blue Dragons collide, and well done by Hannah Brandel to recognize that, but then she shuffled her feet as she got into the paint there. They briefly had a 5-on-3 advantage, and they couldn't take advantage, so the Blue Dragons will come back the other way. Lon Schimmel. This is Kimbrough at the elbow. She's going to drive, left-handed shot. Misses. And there's a foul call. It looks like this might be on Bethany. It is going to be on Bethany. Allie Wright-Frederick will get called for the foul. the 4th of the second quarter, so both teams will be in the bonus with the next foul, I believe. And actually, they call the foul on the shot. So Kimbrough missed the shot, but they said as she was coming down, she got hit, and she'll go to the line for a couple free throws here. Kimbrough's first toss is a little short and off to the left. She will shoot another. 6 points, 3 rebounds so far for Kimbrough. First free throws of the season. Second one missed short also, and rebounding was Allie Wright Frederick. 2:35 before halftime, 48-15. Blue Dragons leading the Bethany Junior Varsity. Brandel gives it up to Ferguson. Ferguson, and the ball's stolen on a, as Dahl couldn't collect the ball, and going back the other way and scoring on an uncontested layup was Abby Ogle. Shaylee Dahl just dropped the ball there. And Ogle just swatted the ball away and went the other way under no pressure. Easy layup. Maybe the easiest one she'll have all season. 50-15 Blue Dragons as the 2-minute mark approaches here in the first half. Ferguson under pressure from Keely Tinney. Good defense by Tinney, trying to get a 5-second count, and the ball goes over to Allie Wright Frederick. She's looking inside. She goes inside, ball's knocked loose, well done by Ogle, and collect the ball will be Vantage. She's trying to go quickly back in transition among the trees. And she slows it down a little bit and finds Keely Tinney. She finds Abby Ogle at the mouth of the Blue Dragon logo at center court. Left side to Vanett. Vanett back to the top of the key to Ogle. Right side now. This is Milan Schimmel. Tries a dribble inside, finds Vanett. Vanett dribbles. Blue Dragons haven't been able to find anything inside. They're going to have to shoot a long 15-footer, and it's up and in by Milan Schimmel. Nice shot. Shot clock was down to 2 seconds when she took that. Not a good position. You hear John Archer say that I did. Not a good possession there for the Blue Dragons, but when you have a bad possession and score, I guess you'll take it still. 52-15 Blue Dragons as we go under 1 minute here in the second quarter. Hannah Brandel bringing the ball near the top of the key. Goes inside. Ball's knocked loose again by Ogle. Loose ball, and might have a foul call on Ogle. Good hustle, though. It will go on Ogle. I believe that will be the 5th foul of the quarter, so this will be some free throws coming up here for Bethany. Of course, in women's college basketball and with the quarters, it is 5 fouls per quarter. Results in a 2-shot bonus. Different from the men's game. So shooting at the free throw line will be Allie Wright Frederick. First toss is up and off the back iron, misses. Checking back into the lineup for the Blue Dragons will be Tia Bradshaw. Also in for Bethany, Alicia Holt. 48.4 seconds left here in the second quarter, 52-15 Blue Dragons. Wonder if the Blue Dragons will try a 2-for-1 here. As a second free throw by Wright Frederick is up and in, and Blue Dragons leading 52-16. We'll probably try if they can get a 2-for-1. We'll probably have the opportunity. Don't have a lot of time before that happens. Here comes a 3-pointer that's up and in. 3-pointer by Michaela Vanett, and they would have, with the clock continuing to tick, so they won't have the opportunity for the 2-for-1. But quickly back the other way, shot's blocked. Well done there by Ty Kimbrough. 2-on-1 the other way, 2-on-2 the other way. Bradshaw goes up, and she traveled or she fouled. I think they called a foul. So Bradshaw will shoot free throws. Doesn't matter if it was on the floor or on the shot. It's the 5th foul of the quarter. That foul was called on Allie Wright Frederick. Her second, team's 5th. So Bradshaw to the free throw line. First tosses up, off the back iron and misses. Blue Dragons have not been very good from the free throw line yet tonight. I believe that's now 4 for 8. Bradshaw, second toss, that one misses also, but rebounded there by Schimmel, and the Blue Dragons will maintain possession. Well done by Ty Kimbrough to immediately get the ball back to Bradshaw so they can hold for 1 shot. 7 seconds, 6. Blue Dragons scrambling a little bit. Bradshaw will take a 3-pointer that's up, missing. Ogle with the rebound with 1 second left off the glass and misses. And we've reached halftime with the Blue Dragons leading Bethany 55-16. I'm going to have take a quick break here, and we're going to have Bethany College varsity head coach Keith Ferguson on. When we come back, you're listening to Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.
Here you go, Fred. Hey, man. All right. Yeah, get her out there. That's good. I love it. If you can do something some of those kids that were just struggling to get they're like the law. Hey, he stepped up for like 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. I'll give my left arm to doing things like, you want to know that. I'll tell you what. He's steady as a rock. That's what's going to help us.
Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. This is Brad Hallier bringing you Hutchinson Community College Lady Dragons basketball, the season opener. Halftime, they lead the Bethany College Junior Varsity 55-16. I'm now joined by Bethany College varsity head coach Keith Ferguson, a former Blue Dragon assistant. Keith, can you remind our viewers right now your time here in Hutchinson? How many years were you here?
Well, it was a fun 1 year. You know, we were undefeated until the national championship game. I think it was about 2014. So that was a really fun group. Got to coach Jamie's sister, Laura Patrick. Really special group of kids, and a lot of fun to be here at Hutchinson. And great place to be a basketball coach.
You've also spent some time, I believe you coached at Barton, so you know you're well versed in the JL Conference. For you, what was the appeal about coaching JL Conference basketball?
It was a lot of fun. You know, I grew up as a kid coming to the national tournament here, and you know, every year I'd skip out of school for a day or two and come sit up here all day and watch the games and try to come back on Saturday and watch back when they did the 8th place and 5th place, all those games, and really enjoyed it. I mean, I just love junior college. I love what it does for the state. I love the junior college communities and how everybody gets excited about those teams and those towns. And there's just no place like it like the Jayhawk. I've been to a lot of places, junior college, and nobody does it like the state of Kansas.
Well, you're now the head coach at Bethany College. I believe this will be your 3rd season. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be your 3rd season. What is? Yeah, it's obviously a lot different coaching private school NAI basketball than junior college basketball. What is different? What are some of the benefits about it, and what are some of the things that maybe you kind of wish you were able to do that you could have done at the junior college level?
Well, the benefits of it is you just get kids longer. You know, watching and some of these kids will play for us varsity eventually down the road. We get to coach them longer and get a little closer with them. Now, if you look at our roster, every junior and senior in our roster played in the Jayhawk. So we've got 11 juniors and seniors, and they all played somewhere. And we've got a couple from Cloud, one from Hutch, one from Barton, Cali. You know, so the Jayhawk's still really special to me, and it's a great place to recruit for us. We just got to get the right kids in the right program, and so far we've been able to do that.
Some people may not be familiar with a lot of these NAI schools and 4-year schools that have junior varsities. What is the benefit of having a junior varsity? I know it's similar to junior college that you're getting these kids some playing experience, but what are some of the other benefits of having a junior varsity?
Well, you know, for one thing, it helps the college in attendance. You know, it helps keep the doors open for a lot of us. You know, Bethany College being in a smaller town like Lynchburg, and we've got about 700 students, so it really helps. The other thing with the JV, freshmen get more playing time, and we play every junior college that wants to play us. We'll go anywhere, anytime. We love it. I'm not necessarily worried. I kind of figured this was going to be the halftime score. I knew what it was going to be, but I'm okay with that because I want to show what kind of character they have by playing these teams. And if something works against a team like Hutch, it's going to work great in the KCAC. Some people just don't understand how good junior college basketball is. And we've got some players that were good junior college players that are really helping us. These freshmen, if it works against these kids, they'll be fine.
How about giving a quick preview of the KCAC women's basketball race this year? Where are some of the teams that are going to contend, and where do you see your team falling?
Well, we were picked second. We haven't played like the second place team in conference, but you know how I am. I'm a little bit like the guy right down to the bench over here, John, and very negative on the team early. But Tabor will be very good. I think Oklahoma Wesleyan has a chance to have a really solid team, and then there's about 4 or 5 others that are all in the mix that if you don't play well. Sterling's one of those, and Kansas Wesleyan's one of those that if you don't play well, they're going to beat you. It's just the one thing that's different. Junior college, you always knew there were some games you walk into, and even if we played bad, we'd be okay on the women's side. In KCAC, it's different. Not that I don't think the talent's better by any means. I'm not saying that, but you just have 4-year kids that have been through it, and those kids are a little more mature sometimes, just because they've been through the program, they've been through the league multiple years, and so they kind of understand what it takes to keep a game close and beat somebody. And that's always the challenges and the fun part of the league.
Keith, something else some of our viewers and listeners may not realize is how the KCAC has really changed recently. I think a lot of people have this vision of all these Kansas schools in central Kansas, but it has really expanded. I mean, you got schools now, I believe, in Nebraska. You have schools in Oklahoma. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Avila, Missouri also join? So the KCAC, it's really kind of become a mega conference, isn't it?
It's really grown. When I was growing up in Lynchburg and a kid going to watch the games, we had 8 teams in the league. And easy schedule, double round robin. There's 16 conference games, and you go find a few more. Now it's we've got 13 teams. Just in the last few years, Oklahoma Wesleyan, York, and Avila have joined the league. This will be the first year for Avila, so it's made it interesting. I'm not a big fan. I know the Jayhawk, when they decided to go, let's have everybody play each other home and away, they figured out real quick that was a bad idea. So I hope we can figure out real quick that it's a bad idea. You just beat each other up with 24 conference games. But, it is what it is. It's kind of fun. You get to go to some new places and see some new areas, and that makes it, always makes it entertaining.
So what do you miss about your time in Hutch? I mean, like you said, you're only here a year, but what a year that was. And you see, I know that you admire greatly John Onchus, and you had a great assistant coaching staff, with you and the others there. But what do you miss most about your time at Hutch?
I tell you, as far as the professional basketball standpoint, it was one of the favorite years I've ever had. More than Fresno State, more than Louisiana Pro. It was great for me professionally to sit down and learn again. Coaching with 2 guys that you consider really good friends is always really special. And then the people, I try to tell people there's like 8 or 9 old guys that come to every practice, and nobody believes me, and then they come watch us practice, and like, you're not lying, and the people that care about basketball in the Hutchinson community, whether it's guys or girls, they really get behind this college, and I just really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun to be around, and be around such a basketball fan base. It's a different experience that people don't understand.
Keith, appreciate you taking some time to talk with me about your time here at Hutch and your program.
Now, I did fail to mention, the best thing about Hutch was our newspaper and SID guy. Those are the best guys that are around here. I haven't found a good one. Well, I take that back. We've got some good ones here, too. But
make me blush.
They did great.
Keith Ferguson, head women's basketball coach at Bethany College, former Blue Dragon assistant. Thanks again, Keith.
Hey, thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, man. That's great. I love you.
Yeah, get you program a little exposure and get there. When's your first varsity game? Or you guys have yet?
Well, great men kids played a part in the newcomer of the year in the league, second team all conference. And Marissa Pope, second team all conference.
any newspaper I have. That's most of I guess Steve Sheldon, he's all radio, isn't he? Well, I guess he works for the website too.
Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. This is Brad Hallier bringing you Hutchinson Community College ladies basketball. Halftime, the Blue Dragons lead the Bethany College Junior Varsity 55-16. Both teams are back on the floor warming up. Let's go through some halftime numbers here. For Bethany, they shot 40% there in the first half, but the only problem is they only had 15 shots and made 6 of them, 1 of 4 from three-point range, 3 of 5 from the line. They ended up with 20 turnovers to just 5 assists. Leading the way, they had quite a few players score 3. So they had 7 players on the score sheet. Caitlin Moore, Hannah Ferguson, and Shelly Dahl all had 3 points for the Swedes. The Swedes also had 9 rebounds, and again, that was balanced also as Hannah Brandel and Hannah Ferguson, who I would learn was actually the cousin of Coach Keith Ferguson, have 2 rebounds apiece to lead the Swedes. For the Blue Dragons, they shot 23 out of 41 for 56%. So yes, they made 23 shots to Bethany's 15 attempts. They were 5 out of 13 from three-point range, and this is a number that's probably going to be very disappointing to Coach John Onchus. They were 4 of 9 from the free throw line. Jada Mickens was 3 out of 3, so take her away, and the Blue Dragons were just 1 out of 6 from the free throw line. Milan Schimmel led the Blue Dragons with 11 points altogether. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 Blue Dragons scored there in the first half, and everybody had at least 3 points, so some great balanced scoring. Dejanae Roebuck had 8 points and 3 rebounds. Jada Mickens, 9 points. Abby Ogle had a nice first half. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, just 1 turnover. Michaela Vannet hit a couple three-pointers. She's got 6 points. Ty Kimbrough with 6 points. Kelsey Brett had 3 points, as did Tia Bradshaw, and Teeny Keeley had 5 points. Blue Dragons with 20 rebounds with Ty Kimbrough and Abby Ogle with 4 apiece. They had 13 assists and just 3 turnovers. The aforementioned Abby Ogle with 5 assists leading the way. Blue Dragons also had 16 steals with Ogle and Vannet with 4 apiece. It's a pretty good first half. The Blue Dragons actually had a great first quarter, leading 35-10 after 1. They used their three-quarter court full pressure defense that really caused all kinds of problems for the Bethany College Junior Varsity Swedes. Blue Dragons have 22 fast break points, 14 second chance points, 29 points off turnovers, 34 points in the paint. So 29 out of 55 points. That's more than half of their points came off turnovers. And when you get 34 out of 55 points in the paint, I'm sure Coach John Onchus would take that any day. 17 points off the bench, 7 for Bethany. Big weekend coming up for Blue Dragon athletics. Tomorrow night, the men will get their first home game, or first game of the season, as they'll play Northeast Community College. I believe that's Northeast Nebraska. On Saturday, they'll play Northeastern Oklahoma A&M. Both games will start at 7:30. There will be no women's game either one of those days, so come on down here and get a good seat for the men's games. There will be a game before that, another men's game before that. But the game everyone's talking about will be Saturday afternoon across the parking lot at Gowan Stadium, when the 4th-ranked Blue Dragon football team will take on undefeated and 2nd-ranked Garden City, the 2016 national champions. And the winner of that game will not only win the Jayhawk Conference, although Garden City still has a conference game remaining, so a tie is possible. But should Garden City win for all intents and purposes, they will win the Jayhawk Conference. But the Blue Dragons, this is their last conference game, so if the Blue Dragons win, they will be the Jayhawk Conference champion for the 2nd time under Coach Ryan Rhodes. They were conference champion in 2014. Incidentally, that was my first season not covering the Blue Dragons after a decade. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but I'm sure a lot of people probably felt it was, as Kyle McCaskey came in, and I tell you, everyone loved him. They ended up going to nationals in basketball, men's and women's. They win a conference title in football. As soon as I get out of covering them, I tell you what, everything started getting better for the Blue Dragons. So here we go, 3rd quarter underway. Blue Dragons leading 55-16. Bethany with the possession to start here the 2nd half. Over right side in trouble. That is Allie Wright-Frederick. She drives, and the foul is going to be called on the drive. That'll be on Laura Mapasua. So Mapasua with her first foul. Australian native, 5'9" freshman. So Bethany with a fresh shot clock here. Shaylee Dahl gives it off right side to Megan Hendrickson out near the center circle. Under pressure from Kelsey Brett, she finds Hannah Ferguson. Ferguson looking inside. 14 on the shot clock. Stutter step there by Allie Wright-Frederick, and it's stolen. Here comes Roebuck quickly back the other way. Soft toss off the glass and in. Well, I wonder if Roebuck ran track in high school. She's very graceful out in transition. Looks like she'd be a pretty good 800-meter runner. And that's going to be an offensive foul. A moving screen there called on Hannah Brandel. And I believe that is her first personal foul. I thought it might have been her second, but that's actually her first personal foul. Team's first personal foul. 57-16, Blue Dragons just underway here in the third quarter of the season opener at the Sports Arena. Driving is Roebuck. She gives it off left side. Three-pointer short by Kelsey Brett. Rebounded by up and in there was Michaela Johnson. She gets her first bucket of the season. Bethany brings it back down the other way, trailing 59-16. As Coach Keith Ferguson said, a good experience for his younger players to play against high-caliber competition. Many of these Bethany players will be role players, if that, for the varsity team. Most of them will spend most of their season playing junior varsity basketball, where they'll get plenty of experience. Ball is intercepted by Roebuck. She finds Sarah Kramer. Blue Dragons quickly back the other way. Kramer looking inside. She's going to go up to the top of the key. Between the rings, Roebuck left side to Mapasua, goes inside, Kramer goes up and in, and Sarah Kramer cuts, little fadeaway there, Patrick Ewing style, off the glass and in. 61-16 Blue Dragons. Allie Wright-Frederick brings it across the timeline for the Swedes, and she throws the ball away. Bethany, a member of the KCAC, located in Lindsborg, Kansas, which is about a 45-minute drive from here. A little bit northwest of McPherson. Neat little town, major Swedish heritage there in Lindsborg. So Blue Dragons out, quickly back the other way. Mapasua gives it off to Johnson. Johnson to Kramer. Kramer goes inside. Great pass. Up and in off the glass is the Janae Roebuck. 63-16 Blue Dragons. Roebuck having a nice game here tonight. She now has 12 points to go with 3 rebounds. Again, Blue Dragons aren't going to have great rebounding numbers tonight because Bethany's turning the ball over more than they're shooting the ball. Roebuck gets a hand on it, but Bethany will maintain possession as Kayla Moore gets a good pass inside. Looked like a decent block there by Michaela Johnson, but she gets called for the foul. Must have gotten her with the body. Mass substitutions coming in here for Bethany, but before that, Hannah Brandel will go to the free throw line, 5'11" freshman from Tribune, Kansas. Far western Kansas. It's actually in the Mountain Time Zone. Her first toss is up and in. And Brandel with her first point of the game, excuse me. Keisha Hamilton back in the game, as is Frita Amor. Alicia Holt also checks back in for the Swedes. As Brandel's second toss is up, she hits the free throw. She'll check out of the game, and coming in for will be Satori Carver. Brandel with 2 points and 2 rebounds. Back the other way is Lauren Mapasua. Top of the key, here comes Roebuck. Gives it off right side, three-pointer is up, and it's going to be a little bit short. Rebounded, though, by Johnson. She goes back up, misses. Roebuck gets the rebound. High shot off the glass and misses. Sarah Kramer's shot was a little short and to the left. It was rebounded there underneath by Michaela Johnson. She missed her shot, and cleaning up the mess there underneath was Roebuck. She gets fouled, and she'll go to the line. Blue Dragons were not very good in the first half from the line, just 4 out of 9. And they're now 5 out of 10 as Roebuck rattles that one around and in. It's her first free throws of the season. Talented player out of Olathe, suburban Kansas City. She misses her second one, race for the rebound, and it's going to be collected by Michaela Johnson of the Blue Dragons. Quickly the other way, across court. Kelsey Brett drives, and she gets hand checked on her way to the basket. She shot the ball, but she will not be shooting free throws as the foul occurred before she attempted the shot. And Satori Carver picks up her fourth foul. So she's going to go back to the bench, and Hannah Ferguson checks back in. So a frustrating night for Satori Carver, 5'10" freshman from Grand Junction, Colorado. 4 points, four fouls and no points, and there's a shot by Roebuck is blocked, but she got hit on the arm on her way up. So I think that's Hannah Ferguson will get called for the foul, and for the Swedes, that's already their fourth foul of the second quarter, and or the third quarter, and with 6:45 remaining, the Blue Dragons will be shooting free throws the rest of the quarter. So Roebuck back to the line. She was 1 for 2 her last trip to the line. This tosses up and rattles around and misses. And the Blue Dragons' struggles from the line continue. They're now 5 out of 12. Roebuck 1 for 3 from the line, 13 points, 4 boards. Second toss is up, and she swishes this one. So 14 points now for Roebuck, and the lead is now 65-18 Blue Dragons. 6 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pass goes inside, good pass there, and with the easy layup was Hannah Ferguson. Nice pass by Frida Amor there. Blue Dragons come back the other way, leading 65-20. Mapasua. This is Kelsey Brett to Sarah Kramer. Mapasua looking inside. Kramer drives, gives out to Roebuck. She'll shoot a three-pointer, rattles around, misses. Johnson, boy, she's really doing well underneath to get these rebounds. She's going to try to score. She misses. Shot was blocked by Keisha Hamilton. And here come the Swedes back the other way. This is Caitlin Moore bringing the ball across the timeline. She'll give it off right side to Alicia Holt. There's Hamilton. Moore thought about the three, and she just had a little curl hop there as she dribbled, or before she dribbled, and that's going to be a turnover. Keely Tinney checks back in for the Blue Dragons, as is Tia Bradshaw. Lauren Mapasua brings the ball across for the Blue Dragons. Is up to Keely Tinney. This is on the drive, Keely Tinney. She goes out to Tia Bradshaw. To Kelsey Brett. Goes inside of Mapasua, off the glass is Johnson. She misses, working hard again, misses again. Brett battling for the rebound, and getting the rebound will be Frida Amor. So Johnson working hard in there. Little unlucky not to score there. And a 10-second violation called on the Swedes. Indeed, there's just 19 seconds on the shot clock. Very good reffing there to be aware of the situation and recognize how much time that was taking. You see it every now and then where you got 19 on the shot clock and they haven't crossed midcourt yet, or they're just crossing midcourt. So the Blue Dragons, Keely Tinney gives it off to Brett. Brett left side. This is Tia Bradshaw. She goes up to Johnson, the top of the key. Back to Bradshaw. Bradshaw looking to drive. She does. Gives it off to Keely Tinney. She's looking to drive now. 10 on the shot clock. And look like she may have shuffled her feet, and she did. She hits the shot, but she walked before she shot it. So here in the third quarter, Blue Dragons have outscored Bethany 10-4, getting to more half-court settings. They didn't press very much in this game, for about half the first quarter, maybe 6 or 7 minutes. They've taken it off since then. Amor, right side, is up to Hannah Ferguson. Hands off to Hamilton. Hamilton over to Caitlin Moore. Ferguson looking to drive on the baseline, 6 on the shot clock. She's going to go off the glass and misses. Hamilton with the rebound, and she gets fouled. This will be the foul on Michaela Johnson for the Blue Dragons. That's their 4th of the quarter. Second for Johnson. Checking back in for the Blue Dragons will be Ty Kimbrough. Also, we're going to see Abby Ogle coming in for Kelsey Brett. So Bethany will have the ball underneath the basket. And they're going to allow the Blue Dragons to make another substitution as Michaela Vanek comes back in. She replaces Lauren Mapasua, who had her first minutes of the season. Some positive minutes there for Lauren. Bethany inbounding the ball underneath the Blue Dragon basket. Gives up to Ferguson. She tries to lob it inside. Well read there by Michaela Vanich. She comes back the other way for the Blue Dragons. She lobs it inside. And there's a three-pointer from the from the left side by Abby Ogle, and it goes up and in. It's a good inside-out play. Keely Tinney had the ball near the basket, and instead of trying to force something up, she found Abby Ogle wide open in the corner, and Ty Kimbrough intercepts the ball. Blue Dragons 3-on-2 the other way. This is Tia Bradshaw, drives to the basket, off the glass, misses. Kimbrough gets the rebound, and she gets whacked on the arms, and she's going to go to the free throw line. I believe Hannah Brandel got her there. That's the 5th foul of the quarter with exactly 4 minutes left. Blue Dragons leading 68-20. Coach John Hodges bringing Tia Bradshaw over to do some coaching. Ty Kimbrough's first toss is up, rattles around and in. Kimbrough had a couple free throws in the first half. Neither one were very good. But that one looked much better. She'll shoot a second one here. Bends her knees. A good form, misses. Ogle gets the rebound, she misses. Keely Tinney gets the rebound, she misses. Great pass inside to Abby Ogle, she lays it. What a pass by Keely Tinney there. Timeout, Bethany. With 3:50 left here in the third quarter, Blue Dragons leading 71-20. We're just going to keep it here. As the Blue Dragons, with their biggest lead of the game, I believe now at 51 points. Just talk a little bit more about the big weekend coming up for Blue Dragon Athletics. The volleyball team, the defending Region 6 champions for the second straight year, will be traveling down to Liberal for the Region 6 tournament. Last year they were the number 2 seed, and they upset Seward County in the championship. Now in a single elimination format, upsets are more likely to, or I don't say more likely, but you see it more often than not, I believe. In a double elimination, you know, an upset can happen, but then the team that gets upset still can work their way through the losers bracket and win the championship. The Blue Dragons upended Seward County last year and made it to the national tournament. Blue Dragons are the 3 seed this year. They will go down and play Colby, and they hope to get another crack at the Jayhawk Conference or West champion Seward County Saints. Men's basketball team will get their start tomorrow night, right here at the Sports Arena, 7:30 tip. They'll also play Saturday at 7:30, and of course the big one, Saturday afternoon at Gowan Stadium, high noon kickoff, Garden City and Hutchinson. And again, my name is Brad Hallier. I'm the journalism instructor and newspaper advisor at the college. We'll have some special sections printed out tonight, and we'll be distributing them tomorrow. We'll have some at Gowan's on Saturday, all about the basketball game. We'll have some cool photos and cool graphics and some stories about the game, including my editor-in-chief telling people to come out to the game. You know, the team deserves it, the city deserves it. Should be a great afternoon of football. Not very often do you get a game with national championship implications in your hometown. This one will be. So Bethany with the ball, trailing 71-20, 3:34 left here, third quarter. 10 on the shot clock. This will be Shaylee Dahl dribbling on the baseline, and I think it was hit out of bounds there by Abby Ogle, and she did swat it, and it goes out of bounds with 6 left on the shot clock. Inbounding the ball will be Allie Wright-Frederick for the Swedes. Coach Hodges wants to go with man-to-man defense here. Ball's tossed and no one touches, so they'll have a little bit of time. Brandel under pressure there from Ogle. Holt now, she throws off a shot at the buzzer, hits the rim, so no shot clock violation. Abby Ogle comes back the other way. Tia Bradshaw now, she sets her feet, tosses a three-pointer up strong. Ty Kimbrough gets the rebound, back up top to Ogle. She throws her right side and now go inside the Kimbrough, and she gets fouled. Good entry pass there by Michaela Vanett. Foul will go on Alicia Holt. It's her first personal foul. Blue Dragons have been in the bonus for a couple minutes now, but she was shooting the ball anyway. So Kimbrough back to the free throw line. She's 1 for 4. Team as a whole has struggled. That one misses short and to the left there. 7-16 now for the Blue Dragons from the free throw line tonight. It's early. We don't know if that's going to be a trend or not. Of course, some of it may have to do, just don't have the right personnel at the free throw line. There's a nice toss up and in. Nothing but net there for Ty Kimbrough. Kimbrough now with 8 points to go with 6 rebounds. 72-20 Blue Dragons as we go under 3 minutes here in the third quarter. And Bradshaw tried to swat the ball away and get something going in transition, but she got called for a reach there. That's going to be the 14th foul against the Blue Dragons, so the next foul will put the Swedes into the bonus. Checking back into the lineup for Bethany will be Megan Hendrickson, 5'11" sophomore from Newton. About 30 miles to the east of Hutchinson. Very good high school program. Good volleyball program too. They went to the state tournament this year. It's right side, Shaylee Dahl. Trying to go inside under pressure from Ogle. Bounce pass there. Collecting the ball is Allie Wright-Frederick. Wright-Frederick. Double team. Bradshaw nearly had a steal there. Bethany might be able to find something in the other way here as Wright-Frederick's three is short. Rebounded by Keely Tinney of the Blue Dragons. Here comes Tia Bradshaw, 3-on-2 the other way. Great pass by Vanna, back to Bradshaw, off the window and in. Great pass there by Michaela Vanna, very unselfish. Made the right pass too, 74-20 Blue Dragons now. That was Vanna's first assist of the night. I thought maybe she had another one though. Quick drive the other way, scoop shot misses by Megan Hendrickson. I think Kimbrough got the rebound. She finds Vanna. Vanna back the other way. Almost traveled, picks up her dribble. Finds Tierney, gives it up left side to Tia Bradshaw. Bradshaw in between the circles. Dribbles left a little bit. Gives it to Abby Ogle. Ogle patient. Bradshaw, 10 on the shot clock. She dribbles to the free throw line. To the elbow, tries to go inside and stolen. Here come the Swedes back the other way. Shaylee Dahl with the ball. She picks up her dribble. Bradshaw pressures her. Got about, and she gets it back. Here comes Bradshaw the other way in transition. Left-handed layup up and in. 76-20 Blue Dragons. All right, I like the way Tia Bradshaw's played defense tonight. The Swedes back the other way now. Allie Wright-Frederick, 1:12 left third quarter, 76-20 Blue Dragons. And Abby Ogle swats the ball away, 2-on-1 the other way. Let's see what Ogle does here. She goes it herself. Left-handed scoop shot, up and in. For Abby Ogle, that's 11 points, a third Blue Dragon in double figures. Under 1 minute here to play, third quarter, 78-20 Blue Dragons. Here comes a three-pointer back the other way, up and in by Shaylee Dahl. It's the second Swede three-pointer of the game. Dahl's got them both. She has 6 points. Ogle, top of to the free throw line to Kimbrough. She misses off the glass. Ogle gets the rebound and she gets fouled by Hannah Brandel. She'll go to the free throw line. So Abby Ogle in her first college game having a nice game. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. These will be her first free throws. Blue Dragons 8-17 from the line tonight. Abby's first toss is in. Checking back in for the Blue Dragons will be Jada Mickens. As Coach John Hodges has been shoveling players in and out here, giving some players some valuable playing time in their first college game. Second free throw rattles in. And the Blue Dragons now lead it 80-23. 35 seconds remaining here third quarter. Bethany bringing the ball down the other way. This is Allie Wright-Frederick crossing the timeline. They will have to shoot. There's about a 6-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So Bethany will have to shoot. Ogle nearly gets a steal, and this will be stolen by Tia Bradshaw. Quickly the other way. Tia goes all the way, left-handed shot up and in with 15 seconds left. And it's now 82-23 for Tia Bradshaw. She now has 9 points. 8 seconds left. Bethany will get the last shot here. There's a three-pointer up and short, and ball will go out of bounds with 1/10 of a second remaining. I think the Blue Dragons will have it as Megan Hendrickson's shot was a little short there. So with 1/10 of a second left, Blue Dragons inbound the ball, and that will be the end of the third quarter. Hutchinson 82, Bethany 23. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're listening to Blue Dragon basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. This is Brad Hallier bringing the Hutchinson Community College ladies basketball season debut for the Blue Dragon women. The men will get their first look tomorrow night right here at the Sports Arena, 7:30 tip. Go to the fourth quarter here. Blue Dragons leading the Bethany College Junior Varsity 82-23. The Blue Dragons shooting 53% through three quarters. Balanced attack. Roebuck with 14 points, Ogle with 13, Schimmel with 11, Jada Mickens with 9, Ty Kimbrough with 8, Tia Bradshaw with 9. So the Blue Dragons could have a lot of players in double figures by game's end as we get the fourth quarter underway. Lauren Mapasua back in the lineup. Mickens, top of the key, is the right side to Mapasua. There goes Vanett for three. A little short, great rebound. Strength there by Jada Mickens, just outworked and outmuscled two Bethany College players for the rebound there. Also down there with getting good position was Keely Tinney. Foul will go against Bethany's Megan Hendrickson, her first foul. First of the fourth quarter for the Swedes. Mickens to the line. First tosses up, she rattles it in. So Jada now reaches double figures, the fourth Blue Dragon to do so. She's 4 out of 4 from the line, and I'm sure I just jinxed her because that's how things work. Tosses up, and she missed, as I called it. 83-23 Blue Dragons. Blue Dragons as a team has struggled from the line tonight. 11 of 21 now. Allie Wright Frederick drives, tosses up a wild shot, and it's rebounded easily by Keely Tinney of the Blue Dragons. Back the other way, long pass, Mickens gets it. As Lauren Mapasua tried a long pass, little underthrown, but Mickens did well to get it back. Launch Schimmel is at top of the key, looking, gives a left side. This is Michaela Vanett. Good pass inside, finds a cutty, Milan Schimmel, and she tosses it up and in off the glass.
23.
For Schimmel, she's got 13 points now. Bethany now. Back the other way, here comes a three-pointer that misses by Shaylee Dahl. Rebounded there by Keely Tinney. Here come the Blue Dragons back the other way. Vanett drives, left-handed shot off the glass, misses, but she's fouled. Like what I've seen here from Michaela Vanett, the 5'6" freshman from St. Paul, Minnesota. She'll go to the line for a couple of free throws. She has 6 points so far. First toss is up, rattles around and falls. No, that was her first free throw of the night. Substitution here for Bethany. Caitlin Moore checks back into the game. Caitlin's got a few points tonight. Second toss by Vanett, a little short, but she had a nice spin on the ball. Good rotation, and it falls through. So 87-23 Blue Dragons now. 8:34 left to play fourth quarter. In the corner there was Dahl. She passed up an open three, gives it up top to Moore. Moore left side to Megan Hendrickson. This is Hannah Ferguson, back to Moore. She dribbles ball, gives it off right side now. Dahl to Ferguson. Ferguson drives. And looks like the Blue Dragons playing some zone defense here. Shot misses by Ferguson, rebounded by Brandel. She goes back up and scores. So for Hannah Brandel, she's got 4 points now, 3 rebounds. Mapasua gives it off. There's a left-handed shot, kind of a circus shot there by Milan Schimmel, but it falls in. Nice shot there by Schimmel. 89-25 Blue Dragons, 7:48 left in the game. So Blue Dragons still playing the zone defense here. Moore throws it to Ferguson in the corner. She shoots a three-pointer on the way, misses. Rebounded by Schimmel. Schimmel quickly back the other way. This is Mapasua in transition, 2-on-2. Good pass to Mickens off the window, and a great pass there by Lauren Mapasua. So finishing was Jada Mickens. She's got 12 now as the Blue Dragons increase their lead to 91-25 as we approach the 7-minute mark. Hannah Ferguson throws it right side to Shaylee Dahl. Bounce pass inside to Ferguson to Brandel. Brandel shot off the glass, misses. Wide open underneath is Megan Hendrickson. There was no Blue Dragon even close to getting a rebound there. And Hendrickson gets fouled on the rebound. Going back up, so she will shoot a couple free throws here. Some mass substitutions here for Bethany. Also, Sarah Kramer will be checking back in for the Blue Dragons. Megan Hendrickson tosses up and rattles around and falls. Also coming back in for the Blue Dragons here will be Michaela Johnson, who had some good minutes there in the third quarter. She had a good work rate. Only scored 2 points, but she had 5 rebounds, and those were mainly hustle rebounds. Just working hard in the paint and grabbing the loose ball, and that might be what her role will be this year. Come in, grab some rebounds, anything you can score will be a bonus. Hendrickson now will shoot another free throw. She has 3 points. And second one misses, and getting the rebound will be Keisha Hamilton for Bethany. Scramble underneath the basket. Moore's got the ball up top, out by the three-point line, and Bethany will back it up and set up the offense. Abby Ogle nearly gets another steal there for the Blue Dragons. Abby came into the fourth quarter with a pretty good stat line: 13 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 5 steals, and just 1 turnover. So the freshman from Baldwin City doing well in her first college game. Bethany maintains possession, 12 on the shot clock. Caitlin Moore picks up her dribble, gives up to Satori Carver, who's been settled by foul trouble all night. Throws it inside, shot is off the window and misses. Good rebound there by Sarah Kramer. Hendrickson, or excuse me, that was Carver. Oh, there's a shot up and in by Jada Mickens. Count the basket. And for Satori Carver, that'll be her 5th foul. Well, she didn't play that much tonight. Maybe 7 minutes tonight for Satori Carver and 5 fouls. So a tough night from the freshman for Grand Junction, Colorado. As Jada Mickens goes to the line for the free throw. Tosses it up, hits it. So Mickens now with 15 points. Blue Dragons lead at 94-26, 6:20 left fourth quarter. Kaylin Moore brings the ball across, looking to drive, good interior pass there. Keisha Hamilton got hit on the follow through. She missed the shot, but she will shoot a couple free throws. Foul will go against Michaela Johnson. That's her 3rd foul. Keisha Hamilton from Salina. About a 55-minute drive straight north of here. And she gets a shooter's touch on the first free throw. Hamilton now with 3 points on the night. She'll shoot a second one. Bethany shooting 31% from the floor, now 70% from the line. Second one rattles around and falls. Blue Dragons 6 out of 19 from 3-point range, 14 of 24 from the line, which isn't good, but it's gotten better. So here comes Lauren Mapasua back the other way for the Blue Dragons to Jada Mickens. This is Sarah Kramer looking inside. The sophomore from Dighton gives it up top, driving to the basket, scoop shot up and in, and that was number 21, Milan Schimmel. She's a very graceful player too. 17 points now for Schimmel in her first college game from Oregon. And there's a foul on Johnson going over the top of Keisha Hamilton. That's her 3rd foul for the team. That's their 3rd foul. Excuse me, that will be 4 fouls on Johnson. 3rd of the 4th quarter. So 5:45 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Blue Dragons leading 96-28. Bethany inbounds the ball. Caitlin Moore's got it. She goes left side. Driving to the basket is Elisa Holt. And Johnson gets the ball. Here come the Blue Dragons back the other way quickly. Sarah Kramer is off the Schimmel. Schimmel, little crow hop there. She pump faked the 3 and took a little hop as she pump faked. Assistant coach Phil Anderson implores her to pass the ball. This coaching staff will never stop coaching, never stop demanding excellence from the Blue Dragons. Even though they've got a 96-28 lead, they will continue to coach until that clock says 0. Ogle nearly got the ball back there, swatted it out of bounds. And being the nice kid that she is, she retrieves the ball for the referee. So Bethany inbounding the ball. It's free to Amor, gives off to Caitlin Moore. Moore, some good dribbling here, trying to get inside. She goes all the way to the basket, and the shot swatted by Lauren Mapasua. Great play there. Mapasua with a great pass to Schimmel. Schimmel, right-handed scoop shot up and in. What a pass by Mapasua. As Milan Schimmel finishes the transition, 19 points now for Schimmel. Blue Dragons now with another steal. Schimmel. She stutter steps, shoots a mid-range jumper, misses, and Hamilton will rebound for the Swedes. Blue Dragons 2 points away from reaching the century mark, which they have done often in Coach John Hodges' 12 years. Alicia Holt, dribbling to the basket with the left hand, spins, shots up, misses, and they're going to call traveling. I think the referee underneath the basket had a foul. He didn't see the shuffling of the feet there. Referee out by the scores table did, and that'll be a turnover. For Bethany, that's their 33rd. Hutchinson just with 6. I know you have to consider the caliber of competition, but for your first game of the season, just to see 6 turnovers so far is pretty good. 4:26 left in the game, 98-28 Blue Dragons. There's Kramer, goes inside to Mickens, and there it is, 100 points for the Blue Dragons in their first game of the season. Good entry pass by Sarah Kramer. Easy layup there for Jada Mickens. Mickens now with 17 points. Allie Wright Frederick for the Swedes, being pressured by Mapasua. Megan Hendrickson finds a cutting Frida Amor. She goes up, and they call in. It looked like that. I think that was Kelsey Brett. It looked like she was there, but I think she was in the restricted area. So the foul goes on Kelsey Brett again. I think she was trying to take a charge there. Looked like she may have had her feet still, but I think her feet were in the restricted area. So Frida Moore will go to the line for a couple free throws. Looking for her first point of the game, and that first free throw spins around and misses. Coming back into the lineup for the Swedes be Shaylee Dahl and Hannah Ferguson, and also for the Blue Dragons will be Keely Tinney. Places Jada Mickens, and I like that. Jada Mickens coming out in a 100-28 game, and she sprints off the court. Gotta like that. Amore's second free throw is up, and the Hawaiian has her first point of the game. 3:57 left in the fourth quarter, 100-29 Blue Dragons. Mapasua gives it off to Tierney. And inside is Mapasua. She gets the shot to fall. Might have been Kelsey Brett that fed the ball into the post there. 102-29 Blue Dragons. Allie Wright Frederick for the Swedes. Out to Ferguson at the left elbow. Being pressured. She's going to try to drive. Pressured by Johnson. Shot misses. And it's rebounded by Tinney. Here come the Blue Dragons back the other way. Mapasua to Sarah Kramer. Kramer looking inside. She's going to get it inside to Mapasua. Back to Johnson. Johnson left side to Kelsey Brett. Brett looking to go inside. Gives it off to Mapasua. Hands off to Sarah Kramer. Throws it to Keely Tinney. Driving is Kramer. There's a three-pointer by Kelsey Brett. Misses, and Johnson with another rebound. She goes up. Thought she got fouled, then she did. And Michaela Johnson again working hard for some rebounds underneath there. I think she's only got 2 points, but I'll tell you what, that's 7 rebounds now for Michaela Johnson. 3:01 left in the game, and Johnson will shoot a couple free throws here. First free throws of the season. First toss is up, off the back iron, misses. Back into the lineup for the Swedes will be Hannah Brandel. She's had a nice game tonight. Hannah, freshman from Tribune, 5'11", 4 points, 3 rebounds. She's worked pretty hard out there. Johnson, second free throw. A few bounces. Tosses it up. Had good rotation on the ball, misses, but it's rebounded by Keely Tinney. There's Sarah Kramer, right side to Kelsey Brett, looking to go inside, gives it back to Kramer. To Mapasua, left side, screened by the referee. I think that's Tinney. Here's a three-pointer by Mapasua, misses, and it's rebounded by Allie Wright Frederick of Bethany. Here come the Swedes back the other way, trailing 102-29. She falls down, but she was dribbling. Not sure, no traveling call, but it will be a tie-up. Ball will remain with the Swedes on the alternate possession. 2:36 left in the fourth quarter. Frita Moore will take the ball out for the Swedes over near her bench. Tosses it in to Allie Wright Frederick. She gives it off to Hannah Brandel. Brandel looks for someone to back cut. Shaylee Dowell was trying to do that, but she was well defended by Sarah Kramer. This ball is nearly stolen, and it will be stolen. And with good body control there by Keely Tenney. She got the ball, really didn't get her feet until she got near the basket, going full speed there, but she did well to toss the ball up and in there for Tenney. That's now 7 points to go with 8 rebounds. Some good numbers tonight for the Blue Dragons. 104-29 now, 2 minutes remaining in the game. This is Ferguson with the ball for Bethany, standing out by the NJCA logo under pressure. The referee was counting. This ball near Brandel will run it down in front of the bench. Here comes a three-pointer that's up, missing with 1 second on the shot clock. That was Wright Frederick, rebounded by Sarah Kramer. Quickly back the other way. Kramer finds Johnson, the 12-footer misses. Rebounded by Frita Moore for the Bethany Swedes. She's looking to come back the other way. She has her pocket picked. Here comes Johnson going up against Ferguson, and she gets fouled. As she tried to put the ball up and in, a little smile there from Johnson. The foul will go against Hannah Ferguson. That's her 4th foul. 5th team foul on Bethany. Just 89 seconds left in the game, but any foul now, the Blue Dragons will be shooting free throws. Johnson was just 0 for 2 from the line. That one falls nothing but net. Caitlin Moore will check back in for the Swedes. Johnson will shoot another one. 3.7 boards for Michaela Johnson, sophomore from Crowley, Texas. Second toss, good backspin on it. Good looking free throws. She's 2 for 4, but I tell you, 3 of those 4, actually all 4 look good. One hit the back iron, one just kind of unlucky, rattled around and missed. So good form on her free throws. 1:18 left in the game, 106-29 Blue Dragons. Caitlin Moore with the ball, left side. Gives it to Wright Frederick. Under pressure from Kramer. Ferguson goes inside. Brandel in among the trees. Good body control, but she misses the shot. And Johnson with another rebound. And she finds Mapasua. 1 minute left in the game. Could be the Blue Dragons' final possession of the game here. 19 on the shot clock. Goes inside to Johnson. She goes up and misses. Rebounded by Caitlin Moore of Bethany. 40 seconds remaining in the game. 106-29 Blue Dragons. Moore tosses into the corner to Wright Frederick. She'll shoot a 3 and hits it. So Blue Dragons will have to shoot the ball here. About a 5-second difference between the shot and the game clock. 106-32 is our score. Mapasua out by the Blue Dragon bench, gives it off to Keely Tenney. Goes inside, missing the shot there was Tenney. And with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, 19.5 left in the game, her shot was deflected out of bounds. Coach John Hodges said she needs to go up a little stronger there. Mapasua. And bounds to Johnson. Johnson will take the jumper, misses. And on the rebound is Mapasua. I think Lauren got fouled on the rebound. And she did, as Allie Wright Frederick will pick up the foul. Foul's on the floor, but it doesn't matter because the Blue Dragons are in the bonus with 16.1 seconds left. That's the 3rd foul on Allie Wright Frederick. So Mapasua will shoot a couple free throws here. Her first free throws of the game. First one just misses. Hasn't been a great night at the free throw line for the Blue Dragons. They're now 16 of 29. Mapasua will shoot another one. She hits that one. 107-32 Blue Dragons now. Coach John Hodges implores them not to foul. Caitlin Moore under pressure. And there comes a long three-pointer that misses by Shelley Dahl. Blue Dragons get the rebound. Sarah Kramer's got it with 3 seconds left, 2-1, and that's going to be the ball game. So the Blue Dragons start the season in style. Our final score from the Sports Arena, Hutchinson 107, Bethany 32. We're going to take a short break and come back with your final stats. You've been listening to Blue Dragon Basketball on the Blue Dragon Sports Network.